Now my eighth tip is to do with hyperlinks. So hyperlinks are cells that you can click on and they can go to various locations. So suppose I wanted a hyperlink that would get me to the start of the Merseyside data. Well, I can call it Merseyside. I can call it whatever I want, to be honest. And I'm going to insert a link. And I'm going to have this place in this existing spreadsheet. And I want it to be, and this is where it gets annoying, I can't just click on a particular location. So I have to find the location first. So the location you can see is cell B266. And you can always see it in the name box when you click onto it. So I want, if you click on this, to go to cell B266 in the data sheet. So you can go to different spreadsheet within the same workbook. So now, if I scroll to the top and I click on Merseyside, there we go. I go all the way down to Merseyside. Similarly, if I wanted another hyperlink that will get me to the time spreadsheet, I can insert a link that will get me to cell A1 of the time spreadsheet. So clicking on one link gets me to Merseyside, clicking on another link gets me to the time spreadsheet. So imagine having a spreadsheet at the front of your workbook which allows people to just click and go to a particular part of that workbook. Now you can see I've got all of these hyperlinks right at the top, and the reason that they are staying on is because I have used something called freeze panes. Now what freeze panes allows you to do is say this area here, I want that to be visible all the time when I'm in this particular spreadsheet. So I'm going to remove freeze panes. So now if I scroll, notice what happens. Row 1 is now free. So I can't see it when I scroll down. Interestingly, if you're inside a table and you scroll, notice what happens to the letters A to J. They get replaced by the header name. Doesn't work when you're outside of the table though. Now let's say I wanted to freeze the very top row. That's done very easily. And let's say I wanted to freeze the top 2 rows. Well, I can't, unfortunately. I can't just highlight them and go freeze panes. It doesn't work properly, as you can see. Instead, what I have to do is if I want to highlight the first 2 rows and 0 columns, I have to go to the 3rd row and the 1st column. So I'm in cell A3 and freeze the panes there. So with a combination of hyperlinks and freezing panes, you can get the end user to be in a situation where they can go to any particular data they want very swiftly. So if I drag these up to here, I can add additional hyperlinks for Tyneside and all the rest. And they'll allow the end user to just click on one, then click on another, then click on another. Now, it could also be that you have external hyperlinks. So I will have a hyperlink to Google. So I will insert a link to an existing file or web page, so www.google.com. So if I was to click on that, it would launch my web browser and gets me to Google. Or maybe I wanted to go to a different document. So if I create a new document, so this is my second document, and I save it as my second document, close it down, I can then insert a hyperlink from this first workbook to the second workbook by saying I want to go to my second document and open it up. So now if I click on this, it opens up a second workbook. And indeed, I don't have to stick with Excel. It could be Word, it could be PowerPoint, it could be quite a few different types of documents. So hyperlinks, they allow you to be able to help the end user navigate your workbook to go to particular locations. And if you use freeze panes, then you can keep those hyperlinks on screen whenever you scroll off them.